Woods. And it is always great to be here in the studio. Y'all just don't know what I have to deal with here. I got 3 fine men sitting over here to my right every Saturday doing what they do. And it's hard for me to sometimes concentrate. They are amazing people. And I'm telling you, they got us everywhere. You know, we may be syndicated. Y'all know that. Oh yeah, we getting there. We getting there. I got some phone calls, baby. WPTP, don't count us out. We may become syndicated, and you all may be able to see us on your, what is it, Sirius, whatever it is, when you're in your car. Yes, we are doing great things, and we're bringing it to you. And I am so excited today because our guest today is somebody that I'm telling you, he got my attention. He got my attention because we all want to have the best financial, I guess you would say, portfolio and the best credit that we can have. And so I'm going to start off by telling you first, he is an amazing man. When I say an amazing man, oh my God, I thought I was bad. I ain't bad. This man is bad. When I say bad, I mean good bad. First of all, his name is Dr. Michael C. Grayson. He is an engineer and mathematician. He is the founder of the Credit and Debt Management Institute and the author of 5 books, including most recently, How to Stop Making Payments and Extreme Credit. He is the CEO of Grayson Technology Company, who currently has several patents that are projected to revolutionize the EV business. In 2014, the editors of RE Wealth magazine named him the world's leading credit expert. Dr. Grayson served as honorary chairman of the Business Advisory Council during the Bush administration, where he won the Congressional Leadership Award twice. He has written expert papers for 2 presidents. He has provided his expertise to justice, governors, mayors, billionaires, law firms, mega churches, the mortgage bank associations, celebrities, professional athletes, and many, many more. Using his proprietary award-winning algorithm, Dr. Grayson currently holds all 3 credit industry records, including the highest recorded credit score, a mid-score of 990. He believes that God's people, small businesses, consumers, and underserved communities deserve a deeper understanding of the credit systems. To fill this important gap, Dr. Grayson offers his highly acclaimed credit workshop, Keeping It 800. Dr. Grayson is currently involved in 3 lawsuits against the credit bureaus totaling over $1 billion. He is tirelessly fighting to stop the credit bureaus from their campaign of fraudulent reporting. And we will have his phone number on the screen later, and his email on where you can email him, and his website, which is www.perfectcredit4free.com. And I am so excited to have Dr. Grayson. I met him, Lord have mercy, and I have been mesmerized since. Dr. Grayson, where you at? Come on board. Let's introduce you. Let them see your face.
Hello. You are too kind. You know that, right? You better
No,
stop.
baby. Let me tell you, I told you. I'm so glad this man is married. I'm telling you, because it is hard to find a good Black man. I'm going to say that, with good credit and some money. And a family man at that. It is hard. Baby, you're rare. Tell your wife I love her and tell her I'm down with her because she did the darn thing. You tell her I said that. And I can't wait to meet her.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
Dr. Grayson, welcome to WPTP Radio 100.1 FM in the heart of downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we are now recorded worldwide. We're live right now, but we are on worldwide. You can see us anywhere in the world where there's internet. That means we have the potential to affect millions of people at this time. And when we get out the show, it's going to be recorded. We have a YouTube channel, a Facebook channel. We're on Instagram and Twitter. So they'll be able to come to this show, go to those sites, and see you over and over and over again. So
beautiful.
Welcome. So I want to start off with, first of all, how did you get into this? What made you just, I know you're a mathematician, you got these doctorate degrees and you're an engineer. What got you here?
Well, I really didn't plan to get into the credit business. I got in by accident. After I graduated from the University of Virginia, I had a scholarship to work for DuPont because they gave me a scholarship to work to go to school. So I had to work for them for 2 years. So after I graduated, I didn't really like the engineering job that I had. So I started looking for a job. At the time, my Mercedes was giving me problems. So I looked for a job that gave me a free car. And it just so happens that the credit industry was looking for mathematicians. They were just about to transition from the old credit system to the new FICO credit scoring system. And that's, how I got in. I worked in the industry for many years. I retired in 2000, and I really didn't have a purpose, but my friends who are mathematicians always made fun of me because they say, you're working in the credit business. When are you going to get a real job? You're not published. You're supposed to be the brightest mathematician out there. So I said I was going to reverse engineer the FICO algorithm and create a credit restoration algorithm to help people fix their credit. And it was really purely a math exercise, but it turns out that the world needed it. And here I am 25 years later.
Wow. So I'm going to back it up, because let me tell you all how I met him. As you all know, I'm the president of the Chattanooga NAN. That's the National Action Network here in Chattanooga. And I have a very strong affiliation and love and affection for the president of West Tennessee, which is Cheryl. Cheryl Huff is out of Nashville, and she and I are very good friends. And so she said, Dr. Woods, she said, we have one of the world's best credit repair person who is teaching my chapter in West Tennessee, the algorithm on credit. And I think it's something you might want to come and listen to. And I said, okay, sure. So she said the first night is going to be December, and he does it the 8th of every month. He's got 6 seminars. And she said, so you start with December and you got 6 months. So I went thinking, okay, I'll go to this thing and whatever, just for Cheryl, and just to make her happy, I'll go. I really don't have a whole lot of time. And, I don't even know what this is going to be about. Well, I went to your first workshop, and a woman that's been in business for 35 years, held many businesses and have done so much, was blown away. It's hard to blow my mind. My mind was blown away with what I learned in the first session. And then we had the second session. And tonight at 6:00 is the third session. Now, let me tell y'all, this is open to National Action Network members, and you can expound upon actually invite others to come on board. I'll let you explain that. But we are going to be offering this same 6-month seminar course to the members and the citizens of Chattanooga through the Chattanooga National Action Network chapter. And so here we are. We're in the 3rd month, and already my mind is blown. It's just blown. The first thing I learned was, you got people with bad credit, and they're trying to get their credit scores up so they can live a better life and buy a home or just whatever they like to do that good credit scores require. And so they're buying all these programs that they send you to sign up for, and you pay them a monthly fee, and they guarantee to get your credit scores up. And the first thing I learned from his first night, I'm going to let him talk about it, I'm going to shut up, was that it's a gimmick. For the most part, it's a gimmick in that they can only raise it so much for the most part, and then you're back to square one. So I'm going to let you talk about, I'm going to give the mic over to you.
Okay.
You got a wonderful slide presentation. And remember, this is being recorded, you guys. So if you missed it or missed part of this, you can always go back and hit repeat and watch it over and over. But I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let the master, the expert, the doctor take it over from now. So, Dr. Grayson, the show is yours. Talk.
I appreciate you, Dr. Woods. And, I applaud you for caring enough about your listening audience to bring them this message. A lot of people take this for granted because everybody talks about financial literacy, but really what they're selling you is financial illiteracy. So this is one of the few, well, it's currently the only credit restoration class of its type in the entire country. Nobody wants to teach you the algorithm. And the reason we teach you the algorithm is because once you know it, it is impossible to have bad credit. So, here's our website. If you Google me, you'll see that I've been everywhere. I've worked with a lot of celebrities, a lot of very wealthy, powerful people. But, my new focus is on working class Americans, Christians, people of faith, helping them, because I realize that credit is an attack against your faith. It's not as simple as you think. If the enemy, if Satan can convince you that you're in foreclosure, you don't have no hope, your car is being repossessed, you're always going to be broke, then what you start thinking, well, maybe the Bible ain't real. Because the Bible keeps talking about prosperity and exceedingly abundantly above all I can ask or think. But here I am getting my house foreclosed on. I have bad credit. I can't get anything. I can't go buy a house. So that is Satan's job. So he's using companies like Equifax to destroy your faith. But the system itself is flawless. So today I want to teach you the system and how to use it and how to thrive in it. So I'm a mathematician. Let me go back here. The reason I love math is because everything in life is math. In math, you have precise, quantifiable concepts that provides absolute results when applied correctly. Everything in your life, if you're having an issue, you have to figure out how to turn it into math. If you think you have a credit problem, if you think you have a debt problem, you need precise, quantifiable concepts that provide absolute results. That's why everything we do comes with a guarantee. Everything I do is very precise. That's why I'm going to take the time to teach you the system today. And then if you need us to help you or if you want to hire us to do it, no problem. Listen, I have a maid that cleans my house, but I know how to do it. If something happened and she got to take a month off, my house is still going to be clean. So the same thing with your credit. You have to know how to keep it clean, but sometimes, it's very cumbersome. It's hard work. So this is what you have to understand first. Everybody knows the credit system is rigged. Everybody. Congress is constantly producing laws to try to get the credit bureaus to act right. They have a new law in the book now. If you Google, it's called HR 4120. Look at what Congress is saying about the credit industry. Myriad findings by the courts, regulators, consumers, consumer advocates, everybody. It's clear that CRAs have failed to establish adequate standards for accuracy and completeness of consumer report. Yet, the nationwide CRAs have demonstrated little willingness to voluntarily retool their policies and procedures to fix the problem. So everybody knows that false credit reporting is a major problem for our country. It is destroying families. It's destroying opportunities. However, the credit bureaus don't care. but we're going to talk about why that is. But you have to be very diligent now. I hope you guys saw this recently. This group said that they stole everybody's social security number in the country, and currently on the dark web, they are selling your information. So do me a favor, take this link that I gave you. You can get a copy of your accurate credit report, all three bureaus, for $1. Please get that, and then you can, I'll show you how to send that to my office, and I will walk through you on a personal basis and review your credit and tell you how to fix it. Credit is getting crazy. You know, most people don't realize all employers check your credit, but now even the military checks your credit. If you have less than a 680 credit score, it's going to be hard for you to serve our country. You know, a lot of times people can't get jobs. They say, oh, I'm going to join the military. Not if you have bad credit. Forget
Car
about it.
insurance companies do too. The insurance industry for your cars and your house check your credit score.
Yeah,
Yes.
Most people don't know that,
They
Dr.
do.
Woods. Your rate for your insurances are based on your credit. Okay? So everything. So one of the things that we institute for all of our clients, and I want you guys to start using this powerful tool, is called a power resume. Now, your resume is supposed to be a listing of all your best attributes that employers like. Well, what's the number one thing that 69% of employers want? And that's good credit. So why are you not putting it on your credit report? Once you're over 700, you should put this on your credit report. I did a job fair with Congressman Meeks, and we introduced this. Man, the employers went crazy. If you are thinking about a promotion and you have very good credit, put it on your resume and turn that in and use that. Most people that apply for jobs have bad credit. So we have clients who say, man, I didn't even qualify for this job. They gave it to me anyway because of my credit. So the power resume, from here on out, that is what you got to do. But just make sure you're over 700 on all three bureaus. I want you guys to look at this study. PIRG just did the most comprehensive credit study on the planet. And what they found is 70% of Americans have false information reported about them. 70%. That makes false reporting the largest crime in America. That makes Equifax the largest criminal organization in the country. But these guys are powerful. Let me prove how powerful they are. If you poll every educator in the country, every college professor, every high school teacher, and say, hey, what is the most important thing in any young adult's financial life? Guess what they're going to say? Credit. Okay, so then tell me this. Why is it if you Google colleges, universities, or high schools that offer a class on credit restoration, you return a zero value? It is the only thing on Google that I've ever found that only returned a zero value. So there's not a single college or university in the entire country that will teach you credit restoration. That is very scary for me.
Wow.
That is very scary. You know, I did this just to check my math. I Googled colleges or universities that offer a class in knitting dog sweaters. Not knitting, because every college teaches that. I said knitting dog sweaters. And you know there's colleges that teach that. But they won't teach you credit. They won't teach it to you. Okay? So we get clients. I had a client a couple of weeks ago. She graduated from a very prestigious business school, and she was struggling. And she said, I can't believe nobody taught me this in school. I'm a graduate. You know, I graduated top of my class in business school, and I didn't know about this. But the reason you don't know it is by design. You think, now Equifax has been in business for 125 years, and you're telling me that they are telling you that they can't figure out how to report your credit accurately. We live in a time of artificial intelligence, man. Get out of here. They're saying we can't figure it out. We don't know what to do. That is not true. That is a lie. This is what the truth is. You go to this article. Time Magazine did two very good articles. I want you guys to see this. The first is the top 1% of Americans have taken 50 trillion from the bottom 90%, and that has made America less secure. So the top 1% is stealing $2.5 trillion a year from working class Americans. It translates into between $800 and $2,300 per person every month. And you don't even know it. You know that you think, because eggs cost $8 a dozen, that's why I'm broke. No, it's not. Don't tell me inflation is a problem for you. It is not. The problem is the cost of credit theft, the cost of false reporting. False reporting is costing you close to $1,000 a month. That's why you're struggling to pay your tithe and offering. You don't have money for the kids' college fund. It's because Equifax and their team is stealing the money from you. But look at that article. Financial illiteracy is an epidemic. And what's weird is everybody's saying they're teaching you financial literacy. But let me break it down for you, because I'm making you all honorary mathematicians. You don't need financial literacy. You need credit literacy. If somebody says, we're going to do financial empowerment, no, I need credit empowerment. I don't need financial empowerment, because listen, once you got perfect credit, your finances will start to straighten up. And I'm going to show you how. One of the biggest issues now, repossessions and foreclosures especially, are on the rise. Again, that is by design. Currently, 94%, I want you guys to Google this, 94% of homeowners have mortgages with equity in it. So if they foreclose on your house, they're stealing your equity. Please, if you have equity in your house should be paying for itself. If any of you guys got questions on that, it's called self-liquidation. We do that for all of our clients with good credit. In America, once you pay in your house 5 to 10 years, your house should pay for itself. Okay? This is scaring me. 12 million Americans every year apply for payday loans. Get out of here, man. Please, get out of here. Do you know that so many of you are applying for payday loans that they had to change the usury laws in America? It used to be no interest rate could exceed 32%. But because all you guys are going out robbing yourselves with these payday advances, look at this. Where is this? This is in, here it is. Mississippi, the usury rate is 320%. That's the maximum rate on a contract. 300%. I know that's unbelievable, but Google it for yourself. Every state has raised. Look at this. Some states are at 100%. Some are at 200% interest. Google this. I looked at this contract. This is a big company that's loaning you guys a ton of money on the internet. Look at this. The amount, I pulled one of their contracts from one of our clients. Look at this. They borrowed $2,500 at a rate of 139% interest. Look at this. They're paying back $14,000. And you wonder why you don't have no money in the bank. You borrow $2,000, the payback is $14,000. That is the enemy at work. That's Satan at his best. He is a genius. He is stripping you of your faith. He's stripping you of your blessing just using the credit system or your lack of understanding. Okay? But listen, the news is not all bad. But I need you to get this, because the whole world, Equifax, all these guys maintain fake credit experts, fake websites that's inundating you with information that's false to confuse you. And they stop the universities or bribe them or whatever to keep them from teaching you. If there's any good teachers out there or good professors, ask your administrators, why can't we teach credit? Listen, if there's a school out there that's willing to teach it, I'll teach it for free. You got me? That's how serious this is. If you want to become a doctor in America, what do you have to do? You got to go to med school. If you want to become a lawyer, you got to go to law school. Same thing. If you want to be prosperous in America, you got to go to credit school. There's no way around it. If you think, oh, I know credit, man, get out of here. No, you don't. You got to go to credit school. That's like going into surgery without going to med school. That's what you're doing every day. And you're wondering why you're broke and struggling, why your business can't access capital. Man, get out of here. It's the only way to be prosperous in America is to go to credit school. All prosperity in America is tied to credit unless you're in the top 1%. If you're in the top 1%, you can look at something else right now. But for the rest of us, the other 99% of us, it's tied to your credit. So I want to give you this for, especially for the parents out there. In our church, we teach a teen credit ministry. So this is one of the fundamental sheets that we use to teach you how credit works in America. Your first piece of credit in America is a checking account. So all of our teenagers, we start them with a checking account. Okay. So the second thing is secured credit cards. So once they turn 18, if you have a checking account, you can get secured credit card accounts in your name.
Dr. Grayson, can you change your slide? Because we're seeing FTC accuses debt collection agencies of abusive practices. So if you're changing your slide, it's not showing on our end. Are you changing your slide?
Yeah, I'm changing the slide. Okay, wait a minute. You know what? Maybe let me stop sharing. Maybe I have you on the wrong slideshow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're showing the wrong. Yeah, you're sharing the wrong screen.
Okay, window. Okay. Do you see a toolbox now?
Let's see. Yes.
Okay. Very good. I'm sorry. Oh, you missed all the previous ones.
I missed all the good stuff. You got to go back and show those. Can you go back and kind of show those so we'll have it recorded?
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily go in detail, but the first slides that you were showing, we were stuck on that very first one that you had up, and it wasn't changing at all.
Oh, okay. Here, let me
just need to have it for our records.
Okay, yeah, let me go back here. Start from the beginning. Okay, this is where we start from. Okay, HR 4120, very important. This is a new law by Congress that talks about the fraud in the credit industry. Okay, you need this. This has the link to pull your credit for $1. You get all 3 credit reports instantaneously. The power resume, please, people, start using it. Once you get involved, if you start taking Dr. Woods' class in 6 months, everybody will be over 700. Some will be at 800. Please put that on your resume. Please. We're trying to have everybody over 700 before the end of the summer. PIRG, if you got some time, look at this report. 70% of you are suffering from false reporting. Now, I'm actively going to different agencies, the FBI. I filed a police report because I found out that the credit bureaus were stealing my ID and committing identity theft.
Wow.
Can you imagine? The Equifax committed identity theft and identity fraud against me. And I filed a police report, and the police department here in Detroit confirmed that they did it, but they said this is too big for us to handle. Please go go somewhere else. So it's been tough. I went to the Attorney General. They said this also involves judicial fraud. So go see the judicial oversight. Everybody's passing the buck, but the information is very good. It's a big problem. Part of the issue is because you are not actively pressing your politicians and congressmen and organizations, they're feeding you what they call financial literacy, which is really financial illiteracy. If you start forcing them to stand up for false reporting, if they just fix that one thing, just report my credit accurately based on the law, you don't need no more help. So stay laser focused against false reporting, because using false reporting, the credit bureaus are stealing $800 to $2,300 a month from you. They're stealing they're using the system to steal your equity in your home. Again, 12 million of you file for and take payday advance loans. All right. So I did a report for President Obama and President Bush on access to capital. And based on that, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce did a report, and this was the summary of their report. It says that from the bank's perspective, okay, so when a small business owner is turned down for a loan due to increased lending standards by the bank, he may perceive this as part of an effort to withhold capital from small business. From the bank's perspective, they may perceive the issue as a lack of qualified buyers. Regardless of whose perspective, the net result is the same. No loan was made. Therefore, economic activity is stifled. So listen, I know banks are tightening their standards. However, it is your job to become a perfectly qualified buyer. That is the only thing you should be focused on. I don't care what job. I don't care if you're a surgeon, doctor. I don't care what your job is. Your real job is credit if you live in America. This is the recipe for becoming a perfectly qualified buyer. So again, over the next 6 months, you don't have an excuse. If you're listening to this show with Dr. Woods, 6 months from now, you should be a perfectly qualified buyer. PQB. In fact, we're going to make up some t-shirts, and I'm a PQB. You know, now all the ladies out there are going to start, you know, they're going to be talking to you. They say, are you a PQB? You're going to have to be a PQB. That's going to be the new standard that we're trying to give you. So credit scoring, this is what you need to know. In America, you're not a citizen if you're less than 680 FICO score. That is called underperforming credit. If you have less than 680, you can't do business with our government. I'm talking grants, I'm talking loans, jobs. The government is not having it. You might as well be an illegal immigrant. You are in the same category as an illegal immigrant if you have less than a 680. So don't look at your credit and tell me, oh, your credit's good. Tell me that you're over 680. So I know you're a citizen. If you feel like this country is beating you up and you're not getting the most out of it, it's probably because you're not a citizen. You got to be over 680. You got to be over 680. I know everybody's advertising good credit, bad credit, come get a car from Bondage Motors. No. Get a 680 credit score. You don't need Bondage Motors. You need a 680 credit score. That's the minimum credit score. Please don't be in business in America and you're less than 680. The magic number, though, is 720 FICO score. At 720 credit score, this is why no college or university in the country is brave enough to teach you credit. Because once you hit 720, you have access to up to $1 million. You are technically a millionaire in this country. They are scared to death. People is mad at me that I teach this. But listen, for the next 6 months, I'm going to teach it. I'm going to teach it hard, okay? So once you hit 720, listen, if you're listening to this program, you have 720 and you don't know how to get to $1 million, you better call me. 2 weeks. And again, I'm not saying borrow $1 million to go shopping. That is not what I do. I don't use my credit to buy stuff. My clients don't use their credit to buy stuff. We use our credit to access capital. We invest our credit. And then the profits or proceeds from doing business, that we use to buy stuff. You look on my credit card, you ain't gonna see me buying no stuff. You know, I got a big screen in every room. I ain't buying none of that stuff on my credit. The proceeds from business, your credit, they programmed you for self-destruction. Everybody's telling you, use your credit to buy stuff, so that you can get in debt and they could throw that 34% interest rate on you so you can get trapped in a cycle of debt and you never have access to capital. That's where they want you.
Ooh, that's some truth.
God has given you so many witty ideas and inventions to make you as prosperous as you want to be, but you live in America. So in America, all your dreams and aspirations, your prosperity is bounded by your credit. So all Satan has to do is keep your credit down. And he is doing a good job with 70% of you. So at 800 credit score, forget about it. The world is yours. So if you're in the 700s It should only take you 6 months to get to the 800. But we're going to start with everybody. Everybody listen to this program in the next 6 months. I need your over 720 credit score. There's no excuse. Because you could call me or Dr. Woods. I'm coming to town to do some, we're going to do one of these, we're going to do in person. So you can ask all your questions, bring collection letters, bring foreclosure notes, bring it all. We're going to resolve your problem on the spot. I'm going to have my lenders standing by on the phone. So everybody with 720 at that workshop, we're going to get you pre-approved for 100 G's on the spot.
And that date is March the 22nd. That is on a Saturday. So you all get your calendars out and put that down. The Chattanooga National Action Network is sponsoring an empowerment community summit on that day. We'll be doing that along with a lot of other things. So keep your eyes and your ears open, because we're going to be sending out all kinds of information, and we're going to be on television here promoting the March 22nd event. I didn't mean to cut into your.
No. That is, you got to let them know, because that is going to be a powerful day. We going to step on the Satan's neck that day. We're going to be stepping on his neck.
If you need your record expunged, if you need your driver's license reinstated, information about financial literacy, we've got a job. We're gonna have major companies here to interview you on the spot, take your resumes on the spot. We have a whole host of things planned for March the 22nd. That's a Saturday. So you all get it together, put it on your calendar, because it's going down here at 701 Hooker Road at Chattanooga Civic Center at Mountainside. It's going to be a day that you'll never forget. And Dr. Michael Grayson will be here in the house in person.
All right. So you want to, so these are the things you got to have. You got to have 720 credit score. You got to have less than 35% debt to credit ratio. So that means your balances, this is really frustrating for me. When you are issued a credit card, every credit card in America has 2 limits. Nobody will teach you this. You have max limit and true limit on every credit card. The max limit is whatever the value of the card is, say it's $1,000 credit card. That is the maximum limit. The true limit is $350.
Oh my God.
If you have $1,000 credit card, that is not a $1,000 credit card. That is a $350 credit card.
Wow.
The reason they're not telling you is because as soon as you go over 350, it destroys your credit rating. And that is their goal. They're not telling you that the true limit is $350. If that is not enough credit for you, you should apply and get another card. Get 3 cards if you need $1,000 worth of buying power. But guess what? Once you exceed the 350, you can't get no more credit.
That's right.
They own you. True credit limit. Make sure you're teaching this to your kids. You have to have ZDC, zero derogatory credit. No bank will loan you money if you have any derogs. Zero derogatory credit. And we're going to talk about later how to get to, and at the summit, we're going to blow this apart. We're wiping everybody's credit clean. We're going to get you to ZDC. Listen, the banks wouldn't require it if it wasn't possible. Do you know that? Zero derogatory credit. You have to have less than 6 inquiries. The big score we'll talk about at the summit, you have to have a big score of 12. But if you currently have a 720 credit score, I can get you 100 grand, 250,000 in about 5 days. Anybody breathing, I don't care where you work. I don't care what your job is. So we have to get to 720. Part of the reason that people are very mad at Dr. Woods for bringing me on to teach this is because you're going to start, you're honorary mathematicians. So your brain is going to start working as soon as you're exposed to this information. Like right now, you're thinking, wait a minute, if I get to 720, I can borrow $250,000. So wait a minute, what you saying, Doc? If I got 3 of my friends or family members that also have 720, together we could get $1 million in 5 days. Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Woo! We need new friends.
You need new
friends that's got credit scores of 720.
You
Yeah.
got social networks with 10,000 followers. Let's say you got 10% of them, 1,000 of them to join your reciprocating financial network. And we're going to show you how to put these together. It's an RFN. You want to convert your social networks into reciprocating financial networks. You got 1,000 people to agree to combine their credit. Your organization is worth $1 billion. Did you hear what I said? Your organization can access up to $1 billion. That is why they're afraid, because you really have the power. You think Equifax has any power? Equifax only have the power of illusion and ignorance. That is why they thrive, because they're masters of ignorance. So this is the algorithm that I wrote that has given me all 3 credit industry records. It is unchallenged. If you master this, and again, I want you to start with a little of this so that next month, you'll be up about 50 to 100 points, and then I can polish you off and get you over 700 or 800. So there's 5 components to your credit score. Quit talking to me about credit repair, going to a credit repair guy. Man, get out of here. Payment history is only 35% of your score. If all your focus is on is fixing your payment history, you know that 35% from grade school is still an F. You know that, right? You need to understand all 5 components, which is what we're going to talk about. So the first one is payment history. The second one is the amount you owe. So the formula says you need 2 to 6 at 1 to 35 or 1 to 30%. 2 to 6 at 1 to 30%. So if you're listening to this program, you don't have 2 bank issued credit cards in your pocket, you got bad credit. And I know you do. And a lot of you are Christians, so I really know you got bad credit, because the enemy is trying to destroy your testimony. How are you going to witness to people? We're called to witness of how good God is, and you struggle, you just got your car repoed. That is the enemy's trick. Listen, we can ready to fix this, okay? Amounts owed, inquiries. You have to have less than 10 inquiries. And most of our clients that have perfect credit only come to us to keep cleaning their inquiries so they keep have access to capital. That's 10% of your score. You see, your credit cards are 40% of your score. That is singly the biggest component of your credit. So a lot of you are scared of credit cards. I know somebody told you, cut up your credit cards. You know what makes me mad? If you go to consumer credit counseling or debt consolidation, the first thing they tell you to do is cut up your credit card.
Yes, they do.
Do you know that? In other words, they're saying destroy your credit voluntarily. That's what they're telling you. And you're like, okay, I don't want perfect credit. Let me destroy my credit. Thank you for this good advice. When you know better. You know
They
better.
also tell you your credit score is going to dip momentarily, but it'll come back up. Just tear them up right now. Give them a surrender all. Surrender all.
And they tell you in the contract that your credit score is going to decrease. Why do I need consumer credit counseling if you're going to destroy my credit?
Yes.
I need a solution that actually improves my credit. Why would I sign a contract that says that you're going to destroy my credit? Come on, people. Come on. Mix of credit. The algorithm is looking for 2 types of credit. There's only 2 types: revolving and installment. Major revolving and major installment. You need at least 2 major revolving and at least 3 major installment. So any installment loan, an installment loan has a fixed monthly payment like a car note or personal loan. Revolving is anything where the payment changes monthly like a credit card. And finally, your length of credit history is only 5% of your score. That's why you can have perfect credit in 90 days or less. If this number, and I appreciate this algorithm, because if this number was bigger, it would take you years to get good credit. I hate listening to these credit experts. I ain't gonna mention no name, Dave Ramsey. I ain't gonna mention your name. You teaching people that, oh, it took you a long time to get bad credit. It's gonna take even longer to fix it. That is a lie. If you know what you are doing and you're following the law, it should take you 3 to 6 months. I don't care how bad your credit is. That is not a true statement. But again, we know that the industry promotes a certain type of expert. All right. So ZDC, let's start there. Everybody comes to me for ZDC. They want to clean their credit. So let's talk about how to clean your credit. So 99% of y'all who are trying to clean your credit, the first place you're going to go is Google. Let's go to Google then. I went to Google and I said, what is the fastest way to repair my credit? This is what Google said. The fastest way is first to obtain a copy of your credit report and dispute any errors that you find. This is Google's recipe for perfect credit. Man, they really think y'all are crazy. Look at what Google's telling you. Google has thousands of websites, thousands of companies to help you with this. They're going to check your credit report. Yep, that's a good first step. Dispute any errors. Oh, that's easy. I can write a few letters. Keep track of communications. I can do that. Follow up with creditors. I can do that. Pay off all my bad debts. That's where I get stuck. Can I tell you this? All of this is wrong. Okay? You better stop paying bad debts. You better stop. You better stop. I almost cried one time. I heard this church, the pastor had won the lottery or something, got $10 million. What she did was then line up everybody, told them to bring all their bills, and she wrote a check to pay off everybody's bills in the church. Pay them all. Pay off all your debts. Guess what happened 2 months later?
They were back in debt.
They were back in debt. Their credit's still bad. Come on. You spent $10 million to buy bad credit. That's all you did. You just bought bad credit. Get out of here. When you Google, okay, Google told you to dispute all your negative stuff, right? So when you go to Google, they're going to give you this dispute letter. Easy, right? It's easy. I can fix my credit. And this is the same thing that the credit repair companies are doing. They grab this letter and they put on there, the first one says, this is not my account, not mine. That is the secret recipe for credit repair. That is the secret recipe. Just simply say it's not mine. But guess what, folks? You guys are Christians, or you have a relationship with God. So lying is never going to be beneficial to you personally. That's why you're set up with Lexington Law, somebody, they're not getting anywhere because their methodology is based on fraud. That is never going to work for you. We have to operate in truth. So telling them that this is not my account when clearly this is your account and you didn't pay for it is a lie. So we can't do it that way. So this dispute letter, man, get out of here. I want to show you guys something.
Cancel my account.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. Actually, you guys have done tremendous work for me, and I was working with you for several years now, and I'm like,
do you hear that? This is Lexington Law's best client. They put a commercial out on him. Now, you guys know we have the record for the fastest credit turnaround. I took a client from 500 to 800 in 1 month, but this is their best client. It took them 4 years. But let's keep going.
Was to get a mortgage rate by the end of this year, and I just got that mortgage commitment.
That is wonderful.
My credit went from like 440 working with you guys to 700.
It took them 4 years to get you to 700.
4 years.
So don't be mad at Lexington Law. They're not lying to you. They're allowing you to lie to yourself. You should have asked them, what is their methodology? How are you going to fix my credit? Stop saying fix my credit. Say I need ZDC. I dare you. You want ZDC, but you're saying fix my credit. Fix my credit. If I remove one thing from your credit, I can legally say I fixed your credit. Do you know that? That is the whole premise for Lexington Law. What you should be saying is I need zero derogatory credit so that I can borrow some money and help my family prosper. I need ZDC. I need zero derogatory credit. If they tell you I can't get you to ZDC, why are you paying? This client paid them $5,000. That was their best client. What about their worst client? Some of their clients, it might take 7 or 8 years to fix their credit, right? So look how ridiculous this is. You're paying them $99 a month. Over 7 years, you paid them $8,400 to watch your credit fix itself. Because after 7 years, your credit fixes itself. That is a good business plan, right?
Nice.
The truth of it matter is credit repair died in the year 2000. It started in 1899 with the advent of Equifax. It died in 2000. The credit industry in every industrialized nation in the world switched to the FICO credit scoring algorithm. It takes an algorithm to beat an algorithm. If you're working with somebody to help you with your credit, ask them, what algorithm are you going to use to fix my credit? If they say algo what? How are you going to fix it without an algorithm? People, come on, you guys know better. You know better, but they're not lying to you. They're allowing you to lie to yourself. Oh, I got somebody to fix my credit. What does that mean? I need ZDC. I don't need you to fix it. Let me let you know why there's a problem. I want you to Google this for yourself. Lexington Law and CreditRepair.com are the two largest credit repair organizations in the country. They just got fined almost $3 billion for consumer fraud. Do you know how much fraud you have to commit to get fined $3 billion? But you keep signing up, saying, please fix my credit. Yeah, I'll pay you for 7 years. I ain't got nothing to do with my money. I ain't got to pay my tithe and offering. I don't need a new car. I'm going to be late on my mortgage payment. Let me just keep paying you to watch my credit fix itself. Your greatest tool for repairing your credit is still the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I'm going to share this with you. Google told you to dispute your credit by saying not mine. We know that that is a lie. What you have to do, either you come to us to fix it or you have to change your paradigm. So look, this is what our dispute letters look like. It is called a self-executing contract in common law. We don't use dispute letters. We use self-executing contracts in common law. Google it. Self-executing contracts in common law. This is what you know. This is what Congress knows. When you dispute with the credit bureaus, they're not going to respond. They don't care. They don't care. They're not going to follow the law because you don't care. You ain't serious about your credit. You paying Lexington Law and you saw they just got fined $3 billion and you still paying them, right? So because you ain't serious about your credit. If you were, you'd be using a self-executing contract in common law. You know that these guys are not going to respond. So my letter is designed for that. I'm going to use your crimes against you. I'm using your methodologies against you. So if you look in our letter, you see creditors' tacit agreement, silence, acquiescence to truth of the statements herein located on page 3 will forever bar the principals from refuting them in the future. What that means is if you don't respond, you agree. If you don't respond, you agree. So yeah, I'm going to dispute. Like, look at what y'all doing. So I had a client tell me they've been disputing the same thing for 2 years. Man, get off my phone, I told him. I said, get off my phone. After you dispute it 2 times, you send them a self-executing contract in common law. It says, if you don't, here, look, any rebuttal of the truth of the statement is located on page 3, has to be in the form of affidavit signed and notarized by a high-ranking officer. If you don't give me those things, then you agree that my statements are true. And part of my statements after the 3rd scrub is an invoice for false credit reporting, which means you owe me money. Listen, we got a new thing we're rolling out just with Dr. Woods and Cheryl's class. We're rolling out, it's called a damages for false reporting invoice. We're going to start billing the credit bureaus monthly for fraud. You don't realize it. I just told you, Time Magazine told you They are costing you $800 a month minimum. Do you know what you could do with an extra $800 to $2,300 a month? That's each and every month. So you should be billing them that money, so that if they take 6 months to fix your credit, they now, in addition to fixing your credit, they owe you 20 grand. They now owe you 20 grand. Oh, you want to take a year to fix my credit? Go ahead. It's going to cost you 100 G's. Listen to me. If you apply for a $50,000 loan and you're turned down for your credit and your credit's falsely reported, guess what your damages are? 50 G's. In one lawsuit, I'm suing Equifax for $250 million, and I have it documented. Because I applied over the course of these 4 years, I applied for at least $20 million in loans. All of them were denied because of the false reporting. So yeah, please. All right. Let's skip through some of this. I want to get to the heart of it. Basically, you've got to know, we talked about consumer credit counseling. It don't work. You know that. When you're done with consumer credit counseling, you're broke and you have bad credit. Think about it. Right. You file bankruptcy 13 for 3 to 7 years. When you're done, you're broke with bad credit. And your credit's even worse because now you got bankruptcy on your credit. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. The people perish for a lack of knowledge. Okay? We talked about these contracts. Get out of here. Who's going to sign that? Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, here we go. Let's get to credit 101. There's 2 kinds of debt in this country: good debt and bad debt. You pay good debt, you filter bad debt. You better not pay any more bad debt. You better pay only good debt. Good debt is designed to build your credit rating. So any debt that's less than 90 days past due, any debt secured like a mortgage or auto loan, any government debt, child support and taxes, is a good debt. If you have a problem with those debts, there's programs to repay them. Every creditor in this country is required to have a hardship program. If you're not using them, shame on you. Anybody listening to this program, if you can't save 20% of your income every payday, then you have a debt problem. You should be able to put 20% in the bank, 10% for God, 10% for yourself. If you can't do that, you have a debt problem. So one of the first things you should do is shut down all payments for 3 months to build up your reserve. If you have a question on that, let me know. But every creditor in the country is required to do this. So routinely, the first thing I do with all my clients, shut down all your payments for 3 months, save that money, so now you no longer have a debt problem, okay? Bad debts, once you're more than 120 past due, or if it's deemed uncollectible by the creditor, those debts you should filter. Do not pay those debts, people. You filter them. So this is what I'm telling you. Every bad debt that you have over 120 days, the government pays them for you. Your Uncle Sam. Remember that name? Uncle Sam. Most people hate the IRS. They think the IRS is evil. Man, you better get out of here. They call him Uncle Sam. Do you know how many people call me Uncle Mike? The only reason they call me Uncle Mike is because they need some money. Whenever somebody texts me or call me and say, "Hey, Uncle Mike, how you doing?" Uh-oh. Uncle Sam is a term of endearment because the federal government is your rich uncle that pays all your bills that you can't afford to pay. Got it? And let's talk about that. Most people ask me why. That's why I put that in there. Why? Why would the federal government pay all my bills? Get out of here. Well, because God told them to. You believe me? I know you ain't heard this in church, but I'm going to tell you anyway. God said so. Let me prove it to you. Luke 7:41-42. A certain creditor, and keep this in mind, our system of government was based on biblical principles. Our forefathers came from debt-oppressive societies, and these guys were highly religious, okay? So a certain creditor had 2 debtors. One owed 500 denarii, the other 50. When they could not pay, he canceled the debt for both of them. He canceled their debts. He didn't take them to court and sue them or garnish their wages. He canceled the debt. And that is how it's done in America. I want you to Google 1099-C. You have debt insurance in this country. You just don't use it. You know, I had a pastor tell me one day, he said, Doc, you teaching people how not to pay their bills. I said, no, I'm not. I live with perfect credit. That is the only way to be a citizen. You have to have perfect credit. So I want you to pay. But in the event that you don't have perfect credit, you got to get there. And you have to use the systems in place. And I gave him this example. I said, let's say you're driving and you texting and you accidentally hit somebody's car and total it out. Are you going to jump out of the car and write them a check and say, here you go. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Here you go. I'm a Christian. I'm a good steward over my money. Here's a check to pay for your car damages. Will you do that? He said, no, Doc, I have insurance. Okay. You have credit insurance too. Why are you paying bad debts when you have government programs that take care of that for you? Get out of here. At the end of Deuteronomy 15:2, at the end of every 7 years, you shall grant a remission of debt. This is the manner of remission. Every creditor shall release what he has loaned to his neighbor. He shall not exact it of his neighbor and his brother, because the Lord's remission has been proclaimed. You thought your credit fixed itself every 7 years by accident. No, God told them to do it, to reset your credit after 7 years. Additionally, the capitalism, we live in a country that's capitalist. We're not a democracy, we're a capitalist republic. So in capitalism, you need two things. You need house sales and car sales. Both of those things are tied to your credit and debt. Both of those things. So if you don't have good credit and low debt, you can't buy houses and cars, and the economy stifles. It shuts down. President Obama, if you guys go to YouTube and put this in, you could see he was the first president to tell you about debt filtration. So debt filtration is a system of 48 government programs and laws that clean your credit while simultaneously reducing your debt up to 90% using cancellation and forgiveness. If you don't remember anything else I say today, remember those two words, cancellation and forgiveness. If you think you have a debt problem, you don't. Just Google that problem with the words cancellation and forgiveness. I'm gonna give you two quick examples, then I think we probably have to wrap it up if you have any quick questions. Let's say you think you have a tax problem. Impossible. Impossible. I know I'm stepping on a lot of toes right now. Impossible. I know you owe the IRS some money and you trying to struggle to pay, or you think you man, get out of here. The IRS has one of the best debt filters on the planet. Okay? If you owe the IRS some money, you should not be paying them. You should be filtering them. Google IRS debt or tax debt, cancellation and forgiveness. You will find this, offer in compromise. Go to their website. Here, okay, wait a minute. Go to their, oh no, okay. Go to their website and put in offer in compromise. Offer in compromise. The OIC allows you to eliminate your bad debt up to 90%, your tax debt, up to 90%, and then they give you 2 years to pay that. Man, get out of here. I don't care what you owe. Do you know how many clients, you think you have a tax problem, get out of here. I have clients that have millions in tax debt. One of my clients is a famous singer for Motown. She was trying to retire, but she had a huge tax liability. And her tax accountant hired me to fix her credit so she could sell off, put a mortgage on some of her real estate to pay the tax bill. I was like, get out of here. I ain't doing that. I am going to fix your credit, but I'm not going to let you pay that bill. Let's do an OIC. They cut it down 90%.
Wow.
Okay? I want you guys to see this in case you've never seen it. This is called a 1099-C. Look at it. Google it. If you don't believe me, it says clearly on here, this is a cancellation of debt form. It's got the date the debt was canceled, and it tells you exactly how much debt was canceled, so you can't be confused. Can you pay a debt that's been canceled? Can you sell a debt that's been canceled? Can you hire somebody to collect a debt that's been canceled? The reason you are paying debt collection agencies, even though you can Google them and see that they're all fraud, the FTC is trying to shut them all down. I ain't seen one that they're not. You're still trying to pay them. You're stealing your tithe and offering money from God. You're taking your kids' college fund to pay debts you don't even owe, right? So 1099-C. Some of this other stuff we'll get into later. Look at this came from one of our clients. We had cleaned his credit. There was one thing left. He owed $35,000 to Chase on one of his credit cards. And they were being real stubborn. So I had to, come out with a very aggressive remedy for them. And this is the letter they sent him back. It says, I have confirmed the account charged off as a loss of the bank due to severe delinquency. So listen, that's why credit repair don't work, because at some point, somebody's going to actually look at your record. You think they don't know that this is your account, crazy people?
Wow.
If they don't respond quickly enough, the credit bureau takes it off, but they're going to reinsert it later, and now they're mad. So you can't build a system of ZDC based on lies. We have the creditors clean your credit, right? So you ain't paid a bill. I'm not arguing that you didn't pay it. I'm saying that I got debt insurance because I pay my taxes and I'm an American citizen. I'm a real citizen. I don't just live here. A lot of you just live here because you'll be taking advantage of nothing. You're not a citizen. Citizens have perfect credit because there is systems in place to make sure I keep perfect credit. The immigrants, they want to keep them with bad credit so that they can have crappy jobs and enslave them financially. That is not for you. God said exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think. It says, I've confirmed that we have updated our records to cease all collection efforts. Get out of here. Oh, we've updated our records. Man, get out of here. There will no longer be any payment due. Please understand when a bank cancels a debt, it's an Internal Revenue Service requirement to send a Form 1099-C. Look at the scam. When they cancel the debt, they're supposed to send you a 1099-C. How many of you have gotten a 1099-C in the mail? Get out of here. It's a system based on ignorance. In addition, we have requested the credit reporting agencies delete the account from your credit file. That is how you clean your credit legally and honestly, Christians, Muslims. Well, if you have a relationship with God, this is how you have to do it. There's no other way, okay? Then you start getting letters like this. No, we won't have time for that. Let's go. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you about the OIC. I want you to go to the IRS website and Google it for yourself and get mad at whoever's helping you with your taxes, right? Because look at this. An offer in compromise allows you to settle your tax debt for less than the full amount you owe, up to 90%. It may be a legitimate option if you can't pay, which a lot of you can't, or if doing so creates a financial hardship. Do you understand? Listen, that singer I was telling you about, she had a limo. She lives in a penthouse. So her tax guy was telling her she won't qualify because she makes too much money. That is a lie. The tax code doesn't say you got to make a certain amount of money. It said if doing so creates a hardship. So what I argued for her was she is rich. She needs a limo. I'm serious. This is her lifestyle. She is a celebrity. She has to live in a penthouse, not because she wants to. She might want to, but she has to be consider her security. So if you take all this money from her, how is she going to afford her penthouse and her limo? And the IRS said, yes, we agree, because that's what the law says. That's not what Mike Grayson says. That is what the law says. It says if doing so creates a financial hardship. Your financial hardship might be different than mine, right? I can't afford to repair my Bentley if you take all my money. That is a hardship for me. Mm-hmm. You got me?
Yes.
Look at this. Look at the beautiful part. Let's say you've made the mistake and you've got into some IRS repayment plan that you can't afford. Look at this. As soon as you file the offer in compromise, look at this. Understand the process. Google this for yourself. It says other collection activities are suspended. I want to emphasize how important this is. I had a client calling me. I was in a big meeting with some high level folks, and my receptionist kept knocking on the conference room door, and I'm like, "Get out of here!" It's a glass see-through. I'm like, "Get out of here! Can't you see who I'm here with? Get out of here!" And she would leave, and then she would come back. She said, she was yelling. I said, "Okay, let me step out of me and see what she wants." She said, "I got this client on the phone. The IRS is there closing his business down. They're going to take all his stuff and sell it at auction." I said, all right, give me the phone. I got the phone, clients in full-scale panic mode. I was mad at him, though. I was like, why you ain't calling me beforehand? Why you wait to the last minute? Put the agent in charge on the phone. He got the agent in charge. I said, "Hey, this is Dr. Michael C. Grayson. You can Google me. I am working on his offer in compromise." He didn't tell you that he did an offer in compromise. The guy said, "Oh, he didn't say he did an offer in compromise." Fellas, wrap it up. And they left. Now he was funny though. This guy, I like him. He said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Dr. Grayson, make sure I have a copy of that on my desk in the morning." So as soon as I got out of that meeting, I spent all night. I ain't go to sleep that night putting together that OIC. But all collection activities are suspended. Look at what it says here. You are not required to make payments on existing installment agreements. Come on, people. You made a mistake. You signed for something you can't afford. Do it. Guess what the average time it takes to decision on offer and compromise? 2 years. Would you be mad if you ain't got to make them payments for 2 years? And then when you came back to making it, it's 90% less? Okay. So this is a sample of one that we did for the client. The client owed $80,000, right? Now she went to her tax guy. She said, "Hey, Dr. Grace is going to do an OIC for me. What do you think of the OIC?" He took one look at it. He said, "Dr. Grace is crazy. I don't know where you got him from." Run from him. That dude crazy. Because you see, taxpayer offer amount. She owes $80,000. The document says, "What is your offer?" Listen, they're lucky. Normally I say $500. The document said, "What can you afford to pay?" I can afford $1,000. Most tax guys want to cut it in half. That's easy. We're going to offer them $40,000. No, I don't care about easy. I'm here to work for you. Your money becomes my money. If you're paying $40,000, that's like me paying. I can afford $1,000. That I can do. And look what they did. They cut it down to $20,000 on the first round. Now, I told the client, I said, "Listen, I can take it down another 10 G's. She was like, no. She was scared, though, because she thought this was a mistake or something. She's like, they went from 80 to 20 in one letter. I'll pay that. And she paid it. But that's how it works. Then you file for withdrawal of federal tax lien. They take away the lien. They fix your credit. Get out of here. Real quick, I'm going to say this, but I got to say this very lightly so you don't misunderstand, because I don't know who's listening. In America, your debt is bounded by one major debt filter. It's called statute of limitations. This is the longest you can be in debt, people. The longest you can be in debt. How do you not know the statute of limitations for your state? This is the most important number to you if you have bad credit or in debt, because the longest you can do it is dictated by the state. You can see here it ranges from 15 years to 3 years. Now listen, I was raised in Cleveland, Ohio, right? All my relatives, most of them still live there. But can I tell you something? If I'm broke in debt, am I going to stay in Cleveland, Ohio with a 15-year statute of limitations? Look what happens. What if I just move to North Carolina? All my debt is more than 3 years old. I can use the debt filter and eliminate all my debt without filing bankruptcy. Do you see what the law says? In North Carolina, it's 3 years. That's the longest you can be in debt. So 3 years from date of last payment, all the debt you can cancel. You can cancel it. You just got to file the right documents. Got me?
Yes.
So one of my clients, I gave him the strategy because he was deep in it, right? He said, how long I got to stay in North Carolina? What are you talking about? Crazy? The day all your debt's gone, you should be packing, especially now because you got a lot of money, right? You just walked away from $300,000 in debt. I think you could sort that out. Now, the rest of this, I think we'll cover next time, but it gets really upsetting once you understand, like collection agency debt is the biggest scam in the country.
Mm.
Look at this. I want to say this. This will be my final note. In this country, two kinds of debt, right? Good debt, bad debt. A good debt is legally collectible. A bad debt is illegally collectible. It's uncollectible, okay, legally. They can do it based on ignorance, though. Let me show you how tricky this is. This is how we develop our dispute letter by me analyzing. I did a forensic analysis of a collection letter. All collection letters look identical because these guys spent millions of dollars on focus groups to create this, what I call license to print money. So they know that you have legal debt and you have technical debt. So a technical debt example, Dr. Brown, if I tell all your listeners right now, because y'all listen to me today, you owe me $500. Listen, I need my money too. I want all your listeners to send me my 500. That is a technical debt. It is not illegal for me to say that you owe me 500. I can even send you a letter like this that says that you owe me 500, right? But I gotta let you know that it is only a technical debt. It's not a real debt. This is not a bill. A bill is a real debt. This is a technical debt. So the law says I have to put this statement on here. Unless you notify this office within 30 days after receiving this notice that you dispute the validity of this debt or any portion thereof, this office will assume the debt is valid. So this is what you call self-executing contract in common law. You got 30 days to simply write me a letter saying I dispute the validity. You got a choice here. You can dispute the validity or you can pay them. Guess what most crazy folk do? They gave you a choice. They said, look, dispute the validity or pay us. Okay, need I say any more? Let me prove it to you. Look at this. It says the named creditor has placed his account with our office with our office. Okay, what does that mean? It says they have placed this. Nobody in debt collection will ever use a word other than place. They never say, oh, we bought the debt or we're hired to collect the debt. That is a lie you told yourself or somebody, one of them credit experts or guys told you that lie. You will never hear anybody say that because that is not true. It is illegal because the debt has been canceled. So, but they can't say it was placed in our office. We don't know how it got here. It was placed here. Okay, let's look at the next letter. Next line, it says, if you choose not to respond to this notification, we will assign your account to a collector with instructions to collect. That doesn't make sense. Why are they waiting 30 days for me not to respond? If you were hired to collect the debt, you would simply say, hey,
here's my money.
Where's my money?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you bought the debt and it's now your debt, you say, hey, I bought this debt. It's my debt. Pay me my money. I ain't waiting no 30 days. Why are they waiting? Because the debt doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
When you first got the letter, the debt doesn't exist. After you wait 30 days, you owe them this amount of money because you refuse to dispute it. Let me show you this here. If this letter comes from an attorney, look at what it says. At this time, no attorney with this firm has personally reviewed the particular circumstances of your account. Think how ridiculous they think you are. The whole world thinks that you are crazy. Here's a law firm looking for you to pay a debt, and they say, we ain't accusing you of nothing. We ain't saying you owe no money. We ain't even looked at this account. But if you just want to give us your tithe and offering, come on, give us your money. Your kids' college fund, if you want to be broke, Just pay us. I'm gonna end it on that, Doctor. Do you have any?
Wow. Woo, let me give you a round of applause, y'all. This is just what I would call a tip of the iceberg.
Here's the tip. Yes.
I'm telling y'all, um, it is so much more to this man. And 6 months is not even long enough. That's why I am so thrilled that you have a business that if we need your services, we can use your services and pay for the service. This was free. When he comes out and does his 6-month seminars for the National Action Network, it is free. But if you really got some issues and you really need to clear it up, you need to hire his company to do it. And I don't know the specifics of all of that yet because I got to have my own meeting with him. But every Friday, I know he takes calls for free.
Yes.
And we're going to put that information up on the board because some people want to ask you questions off the screen privately.
Yes.
And on Friday, he does his goodwill with mankind and with the community, and he takes calls. So
all day and night, I take calls.
Calls, yes. So can we put his information up? First of all, his website and how we can contact him. And I know I'm going to become one of your clients. I already know I'm going to, because I've already taken the first 2 classes and tonight's the 3rd class. And I already know what I need you to do, your company to do for me and our business, especially with our nonprofit organization. We have a business and we have property that we own and we have equity in it. We've never touched it. We have a $4 million+ building or facility that has equity in it that we've never touched it. We don't need to pull it out and use it. We need to use it, but we don't need to, what do you say? Take it and create a debt. We need to use the equity in it to create or buy what we need to buy.
There you go.
For. So that's what I'm going to be calling you for. And I'm telling you, I have been naive over the years, from 20-something years of age out of college, all the way up to 60 years this year. And I can tell you, I didn't know anything about credit. They never taught in high school, never taught in college. Even in dental school, they don't teach business. They teach you the dental profession. But the business part, you almost have to learn that on your own.
Yes.
So I know that there are millions of people out there just like me that are in business that don't know how to balance and use the equities that they have in their property. And they went into serious situations throughout their life, whether it was bad debt, whether it was foreclosure, whether it was bankruptcy, whether it was just developing extremely bad credit, trying to balance the will and pay their debts, like you were saying, paying bad debt. It ain't a smart thing to do, but we need you. And if you are a member of National Action Network, and if you want to be a part of our courses that he's going to start teaching, I'm in the middle of a course with the West Tennessee branch. Then we're gonna get together, Dr. Grayson, and we're going to put, when we're ready, when we get our classes ready, all of those website or not website, the links.
Yes.
People can join our classes, and we're going to start that pretty soon. March the 22nd, which is next month, he's going to be here in Chattanooga live in person.
Yay.
The number 1 credit man in the country, and I would say the world, who has broke the algorithm and the secret to credit, which is what our country was based upon in the first place, which if you learn that and know that, you'll never have a problem again. And my goal is to be like you when I grow up, Dr. Grayson. I want to be like you. I want to get in that 800-900 credit right, so I can have what we call maids and servants and stuff running around the house. But I want you to know that I am honored. All of my audience is honored, and they are definitely thankful for what you are doing, because you don't have to do this. You could have just been selfish, kept all this stuff to yourself, and not shared it with anybody, and continue to let this community and our communities be robbed. continue to let our community be violated. I call them by the robbers and the thieves. But you brought your wisdom to us and you're sharing it with us. If we're going to pay anybody, y'all, if we're going to pay anybody, we're going to pay your company to get us to the next level, because that's where we want to be. We want to be able to do whatever in life we want to do, whether it's buy land, use our property. A lot of us have homes that we own and we have equity in it right now. And somebody told us we got a 30-year mortgage. You said after so many years you got equity, the equity should be paying for your mortgage. No, we're going to get to all of that. You have to take this class, and we're going to make it possible through the National Action Network, through Alton Park Development Corporation, which in this situation, we're going to partner because we're going to train the community. We are a community-based organization, a nonprofit charitable organization, and we are going to host a lot of financial workshops. And guess who's going to be the one in control of that? The one and only Dr. Michael Grayson. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I know that there were some people that probably had some questions, but we're going to get those questions. And if you have questions, you have your contact information. If you're on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our Twitter or Instagram, put your information. You can email us also at WPTP1001fm@gmail.com. And you can go straight to Dr. Michael Grayson. Let them know that you heard his show on WPTP radio and through our social media platforms, and he will help you. I know he will. I am just excited. I thank you so much. Doctor, is there anything else on parting words you would like to say before we end our show?
Well, I know it's tax season. Everybody's thinking about fixing their credit and paying off their bad debt. Please don't pay any bad debts until you talk to us or attend one of our workshops. But most of all, I appreciate everybody that's listening. This is a blessing to me. You know, the Bible says you reap what you sow. So if you want to be prosperous, you have to sow prosperity into other people's lives. So please take this information, share it with your friends and family. If you sow prosperity, you will reap prosperity. Bless everybody.
And on that note, you all know today is Saturday and tomorrow is Sunday. You know how I end my shows. You know, Saturday, go out tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. And praise the Lord. Find you a church home and let the Lord know how grateful you are for all the blessings that he has bestowed upon you. And now today with technology, you don't even have to go to church. You can just, most churches are live streaming. You can watch and fellowship from your bed, your kitchen, your living room. You know, I don't know. You might can't get to church. But if you can't get to church, please still go on live stream and worship the Lord and let him know. He loves to hear from us. He loves to hear from us, you know, and so let him know that you love him and you thank him for all his blessings. And you are always invited to my church, Greater Emmanuel Apostolic Church, where Pastor Paul Warfield Jr. is our pastor at 400 Tunnel Boulevard. Come out and worship with us. And you know, we get down at Greater Emmanuel Apostolic Church. So we are welcoming you to come tomorrow and fellowship with us if you don't have a church home. And definitely we're live streaming also. So go ahead, go to church tomorrow and you won't be sorry. The Lord says, pray without ceasing. That means 24/7, 365 days a year. So you don't have to go to church to praise the Lord, but you need to go in fellowship with like-minded people. I always say it's a hospital for the sick. So make sure you get there. If you can't get there, watch us on live stream. And definitely don't forget this man, because God blessed you today with Dr. Michael Grayson. He is the doctor of financial sickness. He is the doctor. He is the physician of financial sickness. So you all need to tap into that. God bless you, because you're listening to WPTP radio, and we've got it on our recording, so it'll be there forever through all of our tags, social tags, YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, Twitter and Instagram. You'll always have access to this show just because God has blessed us to do so. So I want to thank all of you. Thank Dr. Grayson for coming on and blessing our community and all around the world today with this knowledge that we will never forget. And we're going to use you. We're going to use you. You about to blow up, blow up, blow up. You about to blow up. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all. Don't forget, tomorrow is, what is it, Super Bowl?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Tomorrow, if you're a big sport fan, we're going to have a big Super Bowl party right here. We're going to be partnering with the military folks. They rent from us here, and they've got a big concert and event going on tomorrow here at Chattanooga Civic Center at Mountainside. And I don't know, they got tickets they're selling for that. So we're going to have a good time worshiping or fellowshipping with them tomorrow. So please come out and enjoy us tomorrow if you don't have anything else to do. And until next week, I will see you guys. Be blessed.
Be blessed.